How are you? My name is Masterful Divine Feminine. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a twin flame reading, a pick a card reading. I do hope that you are doing well. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you for returning, liking, subscribing. Do leave in the comments where you are in your twin flame journey. I'm not sure yet what energy we're going to pick up on, so we're going to do pick a card, take it from there, and definitely end with giving you some advice to help you along your journey. Some of you may be doing just fine. You've gotten through the worst of the journey, and maybe this reading is for some confirmation. And for others of you, it can be a bit turbulent waters right now. So we have two cards to pick from. You can pick from either the angel or the rose quartz. So angel or rose quartz. Okay. So we'll put the rose quartz to the side for now, and we'll see what messages are in the angel. And we have pause, inaction, calmness, step back, and wait for a sign. So yeah, as I did that, I just heard like a firecracker or some loud noise of some sort. So the universe is encouraging you to take a step back. You may be, I'm thinking relatively new to the twin flame journey or going through separations, but in the earliest stage of the journey. So maybe like some of you met your twin flame, I'm hearing in 2022, 2021, but yet you really haven't mastered the separation, right? Like when separation happens, you're still finding yourself getting anxious, worked up, and not being able to regulate yourself in the way that you need to, especially on a twin flame journey. So your advice is to pause. So for those of you that have probably been obsessively stalking or continuously checking your phone for messages or wanting to send a message, over analyzing, overthinking, over processing, right? Becoming forgetful, maybe some of those symptoms of overstressing over this connection has left you to feel sick. Some of you could be getting acne. It's a lot of symptoms, right? A lot of things that are popping up because your body is in overdrive. A lot of over, like we're saying the word over a lot. Again, I am not a medical profession, so tarot and oracle and my intuitive guidance, is not to substitute for medical advice. So definitely do seek medical advice where needed. However, for many of you on this journey right now, a lot of the physical symptoms that you could be experiencing has to do with high cortisol levels. I'm hearing like stress levels. Some of you can be struggling financially at this time. So there's a lot of pausing that you need to do right now. Not so much action, right? And even if you are to take action, like in small bits and pieces. So rest is coming through very important right now. It's important for you to recenter yourself, ground yourself, even if you're not feeling like walking out. There's a song that's playing on the radio, and it just brought me back to something in my journey. So in other words, the signs are around you, right? So angel numbers, you can be seeing 888, 777, 1234. 1234 is important because it talks about progression, right? Going outside, grounding yourself, even if you don't feel like going outside, taking a quick walk. I'm hearing ice baths, some of you, especially for those of you that may be experiencing body aches. Ice bath if possible, getting a good massage oil. So taking care of yourself. Every time you catch yourself wanting to put all the attention on your journey, or you're getting distracted. I was just distracted a bit ago by the gardener. Anytime you catch yourself being distracted, putting too much time and attention on your counterpart, I'm hearing Mark. Now for some of you, Stephen, could be your counterpart's name. You're being asked to stop. Recall moments of joy with them, because that can actually help comfort you, and then focusing on yourself. So breath work is so critical at helping you ground in the energy. So let's see what your advice is for pause, like what else is going on. Yep. So Spirit says, take a step back from this connection. Take a step back. Maybe cancel those dinner plans if you're feeling anxious. Anytime you're feeling anxious, by the way, not the best time to send the message in that energy. It doesn't mean not to send the message, but it's definitely calling you to pause for a second, right? Yeah, so we just, I don't know if you can hear the gardener outside, but there's a lot of distraction right now that's not allowing you to pause. Okay, let's see if we got one more for you. Okay, no, that's it. All right, so we have the Eight of Cups that came out in reverse, and then we also have for you, I'm going to take it upright. It was sideways. I'm going to take it upright. We have the King of Wands. So strong leader, power, charm, courageous, visionary, mature, career driven, and successful. And then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, hopeless, indecision, withdrawal, drifting, fear of change. Now I'm picking up like on a heavy masculine energy, so which is makes sense because of the song that I was hearing, and I'm distracted again. So we're gonna go with that. This is probably a predominant masculine energy, or you're a feminine that is pulling on your divine counterpart who is divine masculine. So there's definitely a imbalance happening, right? With wanting to step into the emperor energy and take charge and move forward, and yes to committing to the plans that they made with you, yes to moving forward to a future that's bigger and brighter and beautiful and full of love. And then there's this like moment of despair, right? There's on the other side of it, right? I'm seeing the two scales. On the other side of it, sometimes the indecision of not being sure of how to move forward in this connection, or how to move forward um, with returning communication, or making up for missed plans. It kind of makes them drift away even more. Like you're drifting away more, you're withdrawing more, the masculine, or it could be the feminine, but a lot of distractions, a lot of distractions. And it's important that you take that step back, right? The first card that came out, which was pause, because the distractions are definitely here, and you're wanting to move forward, but at the same time, you're feeling hopeless. So it's not to make a decision right away, it's to also wait a sign. Maybe you're still going through a lot of recalibration, a lot of spiritual work. Maybe now is not the time to move forward. And I recently did a reading for a divine masculine who is been in the running energy, of course, they all are. And it's finally like turning a new leaf and was ready and wanting to reach out to his counterpart. And the advice in that message was to actually still pause for a little bit, because there was still so much spiritual work that person needed to go through, and as much as they were ready to reach out, spirit said no. Spirit said, I need you to pause for a minute. So for those of you masculines, I hear too, like going to watch the sunset. That pause card is actually a beautiful sunset. So there's something beautiful and peaceful about going to a sunset, or wherever you are feeling called to go to. Definitely go there and maybe journal there. Maybe one thing you can do too, that I used to do on in the earlier years, I would say, not days, but in the earlier years of my journey, is there's a spot in the park, and faces beautiful trees. I would go there and I would sit. I would either journal, or I would have telepathic conversations with my counterpart, and then I can feel them, right? I can feel them, I can sense them, I can hear them, And it was just a beautiful way of sharing the things I wanted to share without having the connection in the 3D. I read or I heard somewhere like the feminine in the journey does a lot of work in the spiritual world, and then the masculine does a lot of work in the physical, right? So I think that it's important for you to find ways to connect with your counterpart and to connect with yourself that doesn't necessarily involve sending the message or reaching out to them in the 3D or making plans to meet, because sometimes you're just not ready. And you'll know you're not ready. If you pull this card, there's a possibility that you're not ready or that your counterpart is not ready. And if you're pulling for your counterpart and the message that's coming through to you is that they're not ready, they may want to, which is great, but Spirit says, I need them to pause for a second because you're still in this kind of indecisive and limbo energy. There's no indecision about their feelings for you. There's just a lot of fear and guilt that comes with coming back into your life, and they're carrying the guilt of how they've mistreated you, right? Even though you've forgiven them and you understand and all that jazz, and for some of you, you're still working on that, they're still carrying that fear. They're carrying a lot of shame from decisions that they've made, and it's not easy for them to just pop up and just be like, "Hey, I'm back," because so many times in the past when they were to say, "Hey, I'm back," that didn't have the best ending, right? It led to yet another painful separation. So let's see. Temperance, yeah. So, which falls right in line with pause. And you can see there are two cups pouring water in the two cups, so balancing out that energy, right? So when they're like feeling at their best and they become more focused, they're like, okay, like I'm ready to reach out, and then something just quite isn't right, right? So then the fear of walking away, I just realized I put the eight of cups card upright. So when we first pulled it, it was in reverse, right? Which was indecision, withdrawal, drifting, and fearing change. Them fearing like making, they're not fearing making the decision. Truthfully, I do believe decision has already been made. It's just the steps towards actualizing it. Like fear creeps up, right? Fear creeps through. I am available for personals, but we can definitely go deeper. And for the eight of cups that I originally had in reverse, when I put it down, I just realized I put it upright. So we'll take that energy. So that's escapism, abandonment, walking away, freedom, leaving behind, action, and change. And I think that's so interesting that I noticed that we put it upright after the temperance card came out. So it's almost like when the feelings of the fear of change and the more they want to withdraw, when that pops up, they like center themselves again and then kind of pour a little bit of that into their cup that holds the strength, that holds the power, that holds their divine masculine energy, right? That holds the emperor. So they're doing this like, okay, I know I want to move forward. I know that this is going to be a good decision for me. I know I want to take action, and just still balancing out the two sides. And honestly, until I think it's divine timing, I think it's divine timing, to be honest with you. So you can be dealing with a Pisces or a Sagittarius. Something significant could happen between during Saggy reading. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius season. I apologize. Right. So let's see what your advice is. I'm gonna put those back. It was too many. I think you may have a lot to say, and you may have a lot that you want to say, and you don't have to hold back, but you do have to be careful about when and how. Timing is everything. Some things that you want to say, you can journal. some things you want to say, you can have the telepathic conversation. And that works both ways, right? That works for everybody involved watching this reading that wants to reach out to their counterpart. So let's get the advice for the person that's in pause, just like, not really advice, because the advice is to pause and to balance out those extreme energies that they're feeling between wanting to take action, but then the fear creeping up. So let's see what their next moves are, I guess. We have the nine of of wands. So more Sagittarius energy, more testing testing their faith and implementing boundaries. So realizing that part of moving forward and taking action is implementing boundaries and maintaining those boundaries. The Magician, and really hoping for a new beginning and a fresh start. Yeah, building up confidence, possibly getting into a new project, really using their creativity again, which helps, makes you feel good. Makes you feel good. Oh, and then this card came out. And then strength. Oh wow. Speaking of feeling good, strength. So being courageous, focusing, being compassionate with themselves. Yeah, wanting to come in and nurture this connection again. And then the Wheel of Fortune, guys. Wow. Big energy. This person is going to be doing a lot of work on themselves, has been doing a lot of work on themselves, and will continue to be doing a lot of work on themselves. So for those of you in this twin flame connection, I'm not really pulling on a specific timeline right now, but these journeys are long. These are soul journeys, right? That's going to last you probably the rest of this lifetime and lifetimes to come. And depending on where you are in the journey will definitely depend on how much longer this person is going to be in this separation from you, right? And we need to find another word, because it's not separation. You are one. You will always be one. Whether they are texting you every day to confirm the vacation plans, or whether you don't hear from them for a month, you're one. So good luck, karma, destiny, and faith. This is a destined connection. They are wanting to fulfill their destiny. Even right now, I'm hearing for some of you, they may not know if that means being with you, because you may be truly moving on and seeking love elsewhere besides yourself. And then a major turning point, a major life cycle, and them making major changes and taking opportunities. So they're getting the courage to make a really big decisions, and it's not just a decision to come to you. So and distractions, right? So here we go again. Because every time they make a big step, they get tested. Test of faith came out in the Nine of Wands. So every time they are being persistent, being courageous, maintaining those boundaries, there's a big distraction and they get tested again. And then we have the Page of Swords. Restless, energetic, talkative, new ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge. They really could be exploring new relationships right now, and that can be good. Exploring new relationships can also be a distraction for them. But if this is your energy, then you know spirit's advice for you. But let's see. We got the Knight of Cups and the Devil. So I would say spirit advice to you. I'm hearing, be careful that you're not giving your cup of love to the devil. Think about it, think about it. You can be, you can possibly be attaching yourself to someone that you shouldn't be attaching yourself to. So that's that. And then if you're watching for someone, and you can be an air dealing with earth sign. if you're watching for someone and this is their energy, and advice for you, the viewer watching for this, you have the Seven of Swords in reverse, which is revelation, freedom, being caught, punishment, rethinking approach. Yeah, you gotta be careful with how you proceed going forward, especially with this person still kind of in between energies, and they may be there for a while. Some of you up until Libra season, this like balancing, and this is all healing. This is all growth, right? For them, you're not being punished. Some of you, I'm hearing you think you're being punished because maybe you've done things in the journey and you feel like this is your karma. You're not being punished, and just rethink your approach. Rethink how it is you continue to show up for yourself and your twin flame journey. Wowzer. Okay, card. The card with the angel. For those of you that chose that, that's your reading. And then you can feel free to stick around and listen to those who've chose the second. Rose quartz, right? So let's see. So this is card number 2. Rose quartz. Gotta wrap it up soon. The answer to your question is a no. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know what you were asking, but Spirit says no. And don't overthink it, right? That initial thought, the thing that's been humming in your mind, the thing that you may have been wondering, it's a no. For some of you, it's should you reach out, right? No. For some of you, it's will they be reaching out soon? Probably not. And part of the twin flame journey is understanding that that's okay, and it's truly understanding and knowing that that is divine protection for you and for your counterpart. For others of you, are they these are for those of you that I think are much newer to the connection. Are they like super in love with like the person that they're with? You may see that they've recently gone on vacation, or they can be celebrating a loved one's birthday, and no, no, they're not happy to be there. But you obsessing and wondering if it's natural, right? So don't get me wrong, it's natural to think that and to have those thoughts. I would like for you to check out my Twin Flame Journey healing playlist, and that really talks more about what the connection is and what your role is, right? So you can help yourself come out of those destructive thoughts, right? So I'm hearing it's a no for you in some ways, right? Like right now it's a no for you. You need to stop overthinking, overanalyzing. This is kind of already similar to the first deck. Honestly, what I'm getting is if you pick the first deck, that was your masculine energies, and this is giving big divine feminine energy, but I'm still going to keep it as a pick a card, and you put it, you choose how it fits. Yeah, so let's see what this no is about, guys and ladies. I'm hearing non-binaries. Oh, the messages that Spirit puts in my head, it's like, okay, I'll take it. Page of Cups, creative opportunities, artistic, intuitive, curious, focus on new love, which is so interesting because that was coming through. Like you're kind of like, maybe I've given all that I could, and that new love also can be new love to yourself, right? Focus on giving yourself the love that you haven't been in years, especially since you've been on this wonderful journey. In balance, adaptability. Mm-hmm. Two of Pentacles, prioritization, time management, balance, and decision. So Interesting that this card came out. Mm, say it ain't so. This is talking about that balancing, right? So balancing what are your priorities right now, right? Are you being fiscally responsibility with your money? How are you managing your time, your responsibilities? How are you managing your needs, etc., right? We get the gist. I hate to do this to your reading, but guys, I really think that this is a mirroring energy. First deck, I was picking up primarily divine masculine energy, and then second deck, I was picking up. Now I'm picking up not deck but card. I'm picking up now primarily divine feminine energy, and then there's a mirroring of the balance. So you're balancing like things that you need to do to be more financially stable, right? You are balancing your emotional, your spiritual, you're balancing everything, and time management. You're going through your days with intention, whether that means, oh, sugar honey iced tea, the light came off. And you're also being distracted. So in the previous deck there was a lot of distractions in that reading, and then the light just went out, and almost like you've taken your light off, the light that you used to give to others and to help others and to nurture others. You've also just like had to dim that and just kind of like focus on yourself, light up yourself and only yourself. For That's making so much sense, because now I'm realizing I never turned on my candles for this reading. Wow. And then she's holding a heart, right? She's holding a heart, and that's just representing, for me, her heart. And by the way, she is usually accompanied with another one. And for this reading, because this is a new setup, I'm still trying to figure out a setup. I didn't put. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting the chills. I didn't put her counterpart, and so it's just her, and she's the only one holding the heart. The counterpart is not holding a heart. I think the hands are just open. The whole point is the only thing that's lit up right now on this table. It's you, and you focusing on you. And now I feel like, hi. Okay, because it's just been a long time coming. You know what I mean? It's been a long time coming. Okay. It's been a long time coming. And like the no, right? The no now is, I think, a lot of the no's you've been telling to yourself. Like you may have had thoughts about wanting to call someone or just do something, whatever it is. I don't need to be that specific, but you've been hearing it in your mind, like nope, nope. Like maybe you set a boundary for yourself, and then it will creep up the thought of like the thought that makes you, if you were to take action, it means that you end up breaking that boundary. And you've been telling yourself no. You've been telling yourself no. And if you've been struggling with that, like this is a reminder for you to continue to say no, and be okay with saying no. So let's see, kudos to you for shining the light back on you, and shining the light from within, and focusing solely and primarily on that. And what is this? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. So conservative, methodical, productivity, efficiency, responsibility, dependability, all the things that you are focused on. You're focused on your pentacles. This is the King of Pentacles. And then maybe one day, sometime in the future, there would be someone that you can offer this to. But for now, it's you being very methodical with your time, with your money, with your resources, with yourself, with your health, with every decision that you're making. So you can be a earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, I'm hearing next steps for you. Like maybe you just need an advice on the next steps you can take, or maybe just confirmation. Let's see what. Okay, so we have the Seven of Cups, and we have the Six of Pentacles. So there will be lots of opportunities. Like everything you're doing right now is going to be creating lots of new opportunities for wealth, opportunities for growth. So that business idea, that YouTube channel, that dance class, the thing you own your creativity, right? You own that. It's power, it's strength, it's wealth, it's beauty, whatever it is. And spirit is always encouraging you to use it and to tap into it. So opportunities, choices, imagination, wishful thinking, options, fantasy, daydreaming. So really just like enjoying also just being by yourself again. And you don't feel alone, maybe at times, but I doubt it. But being by yourself and daydreaming and having fantasies and loving you and loving on you. And then the Six of Pentacles, giving, receiving, fairness, sharing, wealth, generosity, and charity. So wanting to be in a place where you can give back, where you can help, right? Where you can donate, where you can give like charitable contribution to causes that are a meaning for you. I'm hearing Leukemia Foundation for some of you. It's different activist things just pop through my head, but I'm not gonna mention them all. But if the word activism resonates with you, then this is for you. And knowing that, and then the scales again. So it's all about balance. The scales came out in the first reading. The Two of Pentacles, balancing, right, and not juggling, right? Not juggling and balancing is very different from juggling, right? There's a level of ownership and accountability and control and peace that comes with balancing and juggling. That you can be good at it, but it takes so much more energy, I think. Nonetheless, giving and receiving equally, right? And knowing that you deserve that, knowing that you deserve to receive. And just advice from spirit. Obstacles, arguments. This is the Five of Wands. So obstacles, arguments, competition, tension, disagreements. Yeah. Without a doubt, I think that this change, this transition has created some rift. It's like you are literally changing, and that realignment into the new you may have caused you to react in ways that has created some tension and some disagreements. It's okay. To hell with it. But with this card coming up, I think Spirit is just advising you now to really be mindful of that now, right? I think the worst of the worst is over, so be mindful of those ways that you're reacting. And then no again came out. So big no. So really do continue maintaining those boundaries that you've set. Okay, I'm going to end it here. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. My name again is Masterful Divine Feminine. This is my channel. And I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please do like and subscribe and leave a comment if anything at all resonated with you. We'll definitely be back. And thank you so much for watching.